and we got a special guest on today, so we'll just record and go from there.
Oh,
Yes.
we're gonna try to blend the recap too with this.
I don't know. What are you thinking? I was thinking maybe
Well, let's
like,
go. Go ahead. Go
because
ahead.
I don't think LC needs to be here for the whole hour. She could just pop on, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
time,
Why don't
just,
we just try to keep her interview down to like 15 minutes or so, and then we can
yeah,
swing right into the recap. And if she wants to, maybe listen, I don't know if she
yeah.
wants
Well,
to kind of tag along and
take a look at it
observe and
this
listen.
way. Like, think about, imagine you and I are sitting in a truck stop just talking like we are right now, and then LC walks in. It's like, hey, how's it going? Come on, sit down. We're just talking about trucking and this and that. So we can just make this just super casual.
Yeah.
Just realistic.
Yeah. I don't mind if she just wants to listen in and contribute and listen to us talk. I don't care. It's kind of cool because she's kind of like we could be interviewing her, and then she can kind of be part of the live audience.
Right.
Just tag if she wants to. She's on her home time, so she's visiting her sisters, I guess.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was talking to her the other day. She seemed pretty open to like just the idea of talking about trucking and her story, and just she seems like she likes this kind of stuff too. So it could just be like a doorway for her.
Well, fantastic. We're glad to have you. There's always a good first time. It's a good place to start.
Did the video go away?
It did. I could just hit ask to start video, and you should get a prompt, and then you could join the video.
Okay,
there we go. There we go.
All right, LC, nice to meet you here. Great to have you on. Thanks for taking the time out. You got Doug and Mike here. Nice to meet you officially.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, with driving to Tokyo. Go ahead.
Do you work for night too?
No, I just got a picture background. I felt left out.
Oh, I'm on home time, so
yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's okay, Mike, since I met her, I'd like to tee it off.
Absolutely.
And tell how we met, and let her definitely jump in. I'm real excited because I love anytime I see women truck drivers on the road, I get excited because I'm really pro women getting out of their comfort zone and doing things that normally you would think they weren't doing, because I'm older. I'm from the 70s. Back in the 70s, women weren't laborers. They weren't out doing the things that men were, and there was a lot of trailblazers. Now like I'll see a truck. This morning I saw a tanker go by, and a woman was driving the tanker, and I was like, yay. So when I saw her, I was leaving the driver lounge, and we both work for night transportation. I kind of saw the back of her, and something told me to talk to her. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to hassle her or anything, because I know how it is when you're a driver, because I'm a driver too. When you have your off time, like I think LC said, when she's off, she'll just do her thing, and then she'll go in the truck and kind of pull the curtains, and you get in your own little cocoon. And I do the same thing, but something told me to say something and at least break the ice. And so I came up to her, and I just basically told her about the making of the videos in my channel. And the first thing that kind of caught my attention is because this is driving to Tokyo. We got on the subject of Japan, and she said she had actually been there before. So to me, that was kind of a confirmation from the universe I was supposed to talk to her. But the other thing that really got me is I later found out she wasn't there just in Japan. She actually lived there for 6 years. She actually lived there. And then and I'll let you jump in a second, but what I remember you telling me is that you've been driving 2 years, and that you were a trainer, and there's sometimes you had gone out for like 3 months at a time, and there's times you did like 3,500 miles a week. So I was like, wow, this woman's really serious about her truck driving. And you could kind of tell by the way she was talking that she's really serious about it. And the last thing I want to say that I thought was really cool, and I'd like her to talk about this, is how she got involved. She said that her husband was in the military, and she more or less said that she told her husband it's her time to go and be deployed and get to travel and go out, kind of get out of the house, and we kind of reverse roles. And that's kind of what she ended up doing. And I thought that was really cool. So back to the question, Mike, was you can add to this is like, how did you end up deciding to drive a truck and then end up choosing night? And then and tied in with that is like, what has been your experience so far with truck driving? I know you mentioned you love driving, and that's something we have in common. I just absolutely love driving. I don't even think of it as work. I just absolutely love driving. So I'll just pass it over to you, and just kind of in your own words, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started, and some things that we'd like to know.
Okay, I've been driving for 3 years.
Oh, 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. I've been with Knight for 2 years. I did work the oil field for a few months before COVID hit. So that I loved. I loved working in the oil field in Wyoming. That was one of my favorites. I've done reefer, I've done dry van, and I've done sandboxes for the oil field. And that's just fabulous. I love that one. But since COVID hit, the boom went down in Wyoming, so I'm back over the road with Knight. I started driving because my son has type 1 diabetes, and my husband works a lot. So to take the burden off of him, I started working. And, you know, I was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, so there's not a lot of skills that I have that cross over into, you know, the real world. So I know I can drive, so I'm like, why not drive a big rig? So that's where that started. And you know, I help with the bills, and I help with his diabetes, and I'm paying for my daughter's college. It's all in cash, just from working with Knight. So, and I stay out 3 to 6 months at a time. My kids are older; they're very independent. I raise them that way. So, you know, we video talk, we chat, Skype. Same thing, you know. It's like being deployed. So my husband has to deal with the kids now, and they're older, so it should be really easy for him now. I love it. I'm an introvert. I don't look like it, but I am. You know, I get a lot of looks on the road because I don't look like a normal woman truck driver, as what they assume a woman truck driver looks like. There are a lot of girls like me out on the road. We work really hard and we play really hard. It's all for my family.
I love that. I think I'm just going to jump in. You know, I've worked around warehousing for most of my, you know, young adult life. So I've seen truck drivers, dealt with trucks, loading, unloading. So, you know, not really ever looking at it in the light that you both are looking at it. And it's really cool to see each person have their own individual story, and the common link is trucking to get there. And I think it's just such a cool thing, because you can not only see a lot of things, you can just kind of be on your own, be independent, and you're making solid money for what you're doing. So I just think it's awesome to meet new people. And I think that, you know, with the channel, with Doug and you coming into the fold here, just even this little Zoom call, I think is really cool, just to kind of get things flowing, get the energy flowing, because, you know, there are women and men out there right now that are struggling, that don't know what to do, or they want to travel, or they're stuck financially, or they have, you know, a kid or something that needs some medical help or whatever, and they might not even think of trucking, which is like, you know, it's right there. So I love the connection here, and I just wanted to jump in and say that, and you know, appreciate you for coming on here today and just kind of chatting.
Hello to everyone. Just a quick pit stop at the Knight terminal in Las Vegas to take a quick shower and take my 30-minute required break. And I've got, because I'm on recap hours, when I get back to the truck, I'll explain what that means. I have approximately 6 more hours on my 70, which is, depending on where I decide to stop, is about 350 miles I can go. I'm going to be going north and going by the Area 51. I think that's about 90 miles up the road. Probably taking a pit stop there. There's not a whole lot of places to stop on that highway, so I have to figure out where I want to stop. And then I gain, I think, 11 hours tonight. So I have to just figure out where I'm going to go and how far I'm going to go.
Yeah, it's different up the Las Vegas yard, I think the Reno yard, and I think even the Salt Lake yard, but definitely the Las Vegas yard. The Las Vegas yard, you can drive into the terminal with your car and drive right up to your truck. Home time, for example, you bobtail here and you park your truck, drop your trailer, you can drive up to your truck. I can't do that, and I can almost do it, but technically in Phoenix I have to go through the secure gate. You can only go in with a badge, park my car,
near the open fence area and park my bobtail truck fairly close to where I can walk to it, and then load it up and then move my car into a parking space. It's still pretty convenient, but you can't drive physically up to the truck. Well, and I was really lucky to get a parking space today. Otherwise, I would have had to turn the truck around and maybe not even take a shower. Now, fortunately, there's a pilot on the other side of the freeway, and normally during the day at this hour, it's going to be open. Stuff like hooking up a trailer, fueling, you know, driving. There's a lot of things that are not going to change. For example, what I was saying is hooking up a trailer, backing up underneath it is going to be the same whether let's say you're doing a drop and hook, you're dropping off an empty and you're picking up a loaded trailer. Okay, what are you doing? You're backing up underneath the loaded trailer, and you're doing the same thing. You're backing up underneath it, hearing it click. You're hooking up your red and blue lines and your glad hands and all of that. And then you're raising the landing gear, because you can't drive until you raise it. And then you're doing a pre-trip. And then, you know, you arrived at shipper. And that's not going to change, regardless of what shipper it is, your Walmart, Target, wherever. You'll do that over and over and over and over again, that you'll get that down, okay? And in reverse, you know, you might be dropping a loaded trailer at a consignee and picking up an empty, going underneath it, hooking up the lines, raising the landing gear, doing your pre-trip. And over and over again, you're going to do arrived at shipper, loaded call, arrived at consignee, empty call. So you're going to do all those. But what I'm driving at is that what's going to be in flux always and never exactly the same is how you manage your e-logs and your clock. Okay. When you go out, like I just, you know, I can't remember even when I went out. I know I went home for a quick thing to get my driver's license. But when you go out and you get rolling, you get into a groove, you just have to start managing your clock on the fly. And you get good at it with time. Okay, that's what happens with me. I know exactly kind of where I'm at with this load. I even know last time they wanted me to go one way and I went another way. I went up 97 to Klamath Falls, and then I went northbound to the 58, took the 58 over to the Interstate 5 in Eugene, and took the Interstate 5 straight up. I might even do that again. I just like it better because it's all the interstate, and it's summertime, so there's not any problem going over the mountains in Oregon on the 58. And it's a pretty drive. I may do that, but that's down the road. Today, the most I can go right now with the time I have left is approximately 300 miles, but I have to see where that is. And I just showed this a minute ago. I'm gaining 11 hours tonight. So you're gonna know how to manage your e-logs, but it's not going to be a set thing. You're going to have to manage it because all the loads are going to vary. This load I'm on right now, I'm 1,180 miles away. I think I'm recording on my Bluetooth. I'm on 95, headed north from Las Vegas. The first place I'm going to take a little mini break, I always do, is Area 51. Look at these. Wow, New Mexico. Alien glasses. This might really have some potential. New Mexico alien coffee cups. I kind of feel like an alien. You know, Sophia said I was from another planet. Look at this. Alien coffee cups. Okay, hello everyone, I'm back. I'm inside the truck stop. Just so you get a reference point, this is one of those American Indian reservation truck stops west of Albuquerque. I couldn't pass it. I got to show you this. I got an alien cup. Because, you know, I did this one crazy video, probably haven't seen because people have seen most of my videos, where I pretended to, when I say pretended to pick up an alien, because we aren't supposed to pick up hitchhikers. And that's a funny thought. Why do I have to say I pretended to pick up an alien? When you think about it, it's like, I pretended to pick up an alien. Well, you kind of had to pretend, because if you believe that aliens don't exist, you can't pick them up, right? And if I did pick up a real alien, that'd be really weird, wouldn't it? And if I did, I would probably videotape them, probably. But we're not supposed to pick up anybody, so if I videotape the real alien and I put on my YouTube video, Night Transportation could fire me because I'm picking up a hitchhiker. But would they fire me if I had a real alien in the truck? And they hate to see Madeline call me in the office. You know, you've been a really good employee, but you know, it's against our policy to pick up hitchhikers. And I know that was overwhelmingly curious to pick up an alien, but you put it on video, man, on YouTube, you know? The alien sitting there on the passenger seat, all the evidence, and it's sitting there. You know, that's against our team rules. That would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Hey, good morning. I am basically starting my day in a sleepy little town in Texas called Dimmitt. I'm about 13 miles from my shipper, and this load is going, technically, it's going all the way from here, all the way to Fontana, California. It says the loaded miles is about 1,000. Okay. It doesn't have to be delivered till the 11th. Okay. I believe today is the 7th, so that's 4 days. So when I talked to Michael, my DM, he said I could just T-call it in Phoenix. Okay, here's the deal. This is the kind of load that is cool. I imagine the loaded miles is more like about 700 for me, and it's now Sunday. So this is the kind of load that there's not any big rush. August 7th, and I'm in Texas at a shipper. I came out here from Fontana, actually. It was Charupa Valley. I did deliver my load fine last night. I lose track of time, yeah, last night. And then I just parked in this little tiny town about 13 miles from here. Folks, I am officially leaving my house. I have just a quick overnight visit. I'm gonna be heading to Texas today. Recorded a few 5-minute videos this morning before going out the door for Mike. Out the door, I'm driving to Phoenix right now to hop on the truck and head to Flagstaff and probably Albuquerque. That's my goal today. Stay tuned. Set the alarm, close the door.
Please exit now. Warning, door or window open.
Here we go. Goodbye, house. Home time. Just a really quick visit. We'll see you next time. See you. Stay tuned. Bye. Everything's on. Okay. We're ready to rock and roll. Subaru time. All right. What is that supposed to mean today? I don't know. Maybe I never had a dog running in front of my car like that. I know. He's just wandering around. Maybe there's a sign. I've been doing this for like a long time, but I'm almost 68 years old, dude. What, you want me to stop talking to myself? We've been doing this, man, for a long time, and now you're telling me I can't do this anymore. What's your problem, man? Well, we got a channel now called Driving to Tokyo. Well, that doesn't make any difference. I don't care what people think. You know this. We've done all the personal development together. Jack Canfield, Dave Wood, all the stuff we've learned. You know, you can't worry about what others think. Yeah, I guess you have a point there. You know. Well, think about it this way. Maybe you should wait until you get on the highway and put cruise control on, because you might get pulled up for driving under the influence of talking to yourself, dude. Just wait a minute. This might be a 5-minute video. Okay. Maybe it's gonna be a 10-minute video. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm gonna show you in the sonar, but basically, the 70-hour clock. In other words, if you fire up your sonar, your e-logs, and it says you're eligible to drive 11 hours and 14, if your 70-hour clock says 2 hours and 43 minutes, that's really all you can drive or work, even though your e-log says 11 and 14, okay? Because the 70-hour clock, that's key. You know, that's really, when you look at that, that really means that's all you have to work. So we have a term called recap hours. Recap hours. What is that? Grasshoppers. Okay. Recap hours means that when you've been working, rocking and rolling and really proactive, you're going to get to the point you get low on hours. In other words, you fire up your Zonar, your e-logs, and the 70 says something like 8 hours and 20 minutes or whatever it says. That's all you can work that day. And there might come a point that your hours are low, and the only hours you have to work are the hours you gain after midnight each day. After midnight each day, there's hours that drop off, okay? And this is technical stuff, but you'll learn how to use road view on your Zonar. And that's where, this is what I do. I go to road view and I take my trip sheet, flip it over, and then I write down all my recap hours for 8 days. You know, that, in other words, I might write down 8.75, 10.25, 9.75, 8.65. So then I know what all the recaps are going to be coming up for the next several days. So if I get a pre-plan, get a trip, and I'm trying to figure out if I can do it or not, because your Zonar is only going to tell you what you gained that night. Now, it could, in fact, because coming off your home time, you're going to have, let's say you take 4 days off, you're going to have 4 days that are going to be zero. So you could literally have 3 days you don't gain any time, until you finally start gaining some time again. So your trainer will go through all of this, and you should be able to, at some point, be able to drive down the highway and teach this yourself or talk about it, and you should know all of this inside and out. Okay, let's get over here. Let's get over here. Now, I was a trainer for CRST, so I kind of trained myself with night when it came over to night. So I kind of trained myself. I went through orientation. They give you a bunch of information. It's all coming at you so fast that you really don't figure out what you're doing until you're out here in the real world. Okay. But because I was a trainer, because I had been driving for CRST for 3 years before, because I was doing teams and I was traveling 20,000 miles a month as a team, or about 600,000 miles in 3 years, I kind of trained myself when I came over tonight. They didn't give me a trainer. They kind of threw me in a truck, said, go to work. So I had to kind of train myself for the first month or so and kind of figure out all their macro messages and their procedures and all that good stuff. But now I've got it wired. So we're driving up to Buckeye, basically taking it, making a right turn, going into the parking lot. We're almost to night transportation. I think this is going to be, I'm going to put this at the beginning of this video. I started mixing, editing, putting together. Technically, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and worked a little bit, but then I woke up again toward when my 10-hour break was up in Fontana, California, to Fontana Yard. Now I'm in Palm Springs, California. I stop often at this Palm Springs Pilot. I like the people here. I usually stop, even though parking is a little weird. It's one of those that the people, I don't know if you picture it, I have to, maybe I'll videotape it when I'm walking into the truck stop so you can see it. But you come in the fuel island, there's a scale, but then everyone leaving the fuel island goes around like a horseshoe, so that all the parking, when you're trying to back up, there's people leaving the fuel island impatiently waiting for you to back up, hurrying you, and it gets backed up. And then, like what just happened for me this time, there's 2 ways of parking here. You either go through the fuel island and come back around, which people prefer, but then if the fuel island's full, okay, you come in the exit. Well, when I was coming in the exit this morning, there was a guy, some truck drivers, here's the deal, here's what I feel. some truck drivers are kind of like in their own little world. They're not aware of like anything around them. It's like they'll just do the stupidest stuff, and you're kind of like, what are you doing? So this guy, you know, there's this exit, but you have to use the exit and come in the wrong way to back into a parking space. But this guy just parked his truck. He's inside his cab doing something, and he's blocking like 5 parking spaces, just sitting there. And so therefore he's sitting in my way. I can't park the truck. So then as he's blocking the place for me to park, otherwise I can just come in, I can see it's clear, just come in, boom, back up into a spot and take about 5 minutes so that I can get in the spot before the guys start leaving the fuel island, so he doesn't move. So I'm in the right side, he's on his side blocking everything, and then people start leaving the fuel island. They're going, what is going on here? So he finally got the message. One of the truck drivers honked his horn. One of his truck drivers went like that, and he moved finally. You know, so some of that stuff kind of drives me crazy. But anyway, that's a whole side thing. If you're a grasshopper truck driver, this is my term for a beginning or someone looking into, it's going to be my code word, grasshopper truck driver. So if you're a grasshopper truck driver and you've never driven a truck, never gone to truck driving school, and you're thinking about driving a truck, and like I was, everybody, here's the deal. Okay, here's the deal. Here we go. Here's the deal. Listen to this. This is, everybody says, what's the bottom line? What's the essence? What's the intent? What's the core message of your channel or whatever? There's many, but here's one. Okay, one thing. Okay, everybody starts out at the same place, generally speaking. Okay, as a grasshopper. Okay, so if you're a grasshopper, I was once a grasshopper. We were both grasshoppers. I mean, you're a grasshopper now, but I was a grasshopper once. Okay, I was a beginner. I had no experience. Not technically true, but you understand my point. So to get to the level where I am now, where I've been driving 12 years, I'm really weird. I'm kind of an elevated, weird grasshopper stage. Okay, to get there, you have to go through the grasshopper entry level stuff. And what is it? It's the same with Night, it's the same with CRST, it's the same with Swift, CR England, generally the same. What is it? Do you know what it is? If you're a grasshopper, you should know this. It's the first test. What are the stages that you have to go through to become a truck driver? What are they? Okay, I want you to take a piece of paper, turn this off, write down what are the stages, write down the stages. Number 1, this is the first thing you have to do. Number 2, this is the second thing. Number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay, I want you to write those down. Okay? If you can't write those things down, the action steps you need to take to drive a truck, you're really at the grasshopper stage. I would say you're at the super grasshopper stage. That's another level. That's where you don't know anything. And it's okay to admit, Doug, I'm at the super grasshopper stage. I don't even know anything. Well, do you know that you're curious about driving a truck? Are you interested? Are you kind of like heard about it? Or you thought about it? Or you saw trucks going down the highway and go, wow, I might want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. Maybe I'll do that. But write those things down. But here's the deal. I'll tell you. Okay. This it might vary a little bit, but number one way, and this is the way I recommend, if you're going to join, which I recommend, Squire and Knight, you come through me first before you even go to the recruiter, because I'll hand you off to the recruiter, okay, with my driver code, and then she knows that you're connected with me and you're part of the Driving to Tokyo, the weirdo truck driving team, you know, the grasshopper. You'll get a certified grasshopper card. We'll send that in the mail, and it'll say Driving to Tokyo, High Performance Ninja Team. Okay, taking you places you've never been before, and it'll say grasshopper, and they'll say your name, and it'll say entry level position. Okay, we'll send you one of those in the mail. Okay, and you'll get some other benefits as well. Now, you could just go right through the recruiter and bypass the whole driving to Tokyo thing. You could. You could go to another company. You could go shop around some more. But here's what I recommend. Okay. Here's what I recommend. Click to subscribe. start watching these videos. They're weird, but they're informative weird, okay? They're entertaining. I know. They're unique. There's not another me out there. If there is, I want to try to recruit him into my team. Wouldn't it be really cool if there's 2 of me, 3 of me, 4 of me, 5 of me? Imagine if I could have a multiplicity of me. It'd be really weird. Okay, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Casey probably doesn't have a multiplicity of people, and Peter McKinnon or Chris Broad from I don't think they have multiplicities of themselves on their video. Oh, Peter does. Oh, wow. Peter actually has this thing where he says, this is how you duplicate yourself. It's really good. I like this. I got to learn how to do this. Peter, thank you. I got to check this out. Where he's able to kind of split screen himself, where he's talking to himself. That's kind of cool. But I want to learn how to do that because that would be really fun. But anyway, let's get back to the point. Okay. Because I can't spend all day here. I've got, let's see what happens. 9 minutes into my break, and I've got let's check this out together. This is another lesson for you, Grasshopper. Check this out. Free training you'll get if you go through our channel. Okay. What is this, Grasshopper? 92905 into my 11-hour clock. You're allowed 11 hours every day of driving, unless you don't have 11 hours on your 7. This is the 14-hour clock, 11:47. You're allowed 14 hours from the time you start. This is my 70:48. I'm taking 10 minutes now, so if I wasn't making this video, to tell you the truth, I've been in the restroom, gotta grab some stuff, out here on the road, about 7 minutes. Okay, we're going a little bonus time, extra stuff to do this when I'm on my way to Texas. Okay, just for you. Okay, this is called a Zonar. We'll get much more into this, so just subscribe, like, come on board, watch the videos. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. Because here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Let's look at this. Is a truck stop. Okay, this is the entry place I was telling you about. There's Reveal Island over here. This is Palm Springs, exit 120. It's one of my favorite places to stop on the route. So one of the things you want to do when you get in a truck, whether you're with, I started out with Team CRST for 3 years, another whole shotgun thing. I have talked about that already. Full disclosure, really, so you know the origins of how I began. But I would recommend you start with Squire 9. I'll tell you the benefits on another video. But I'm going to turn this off because I just wanted to tell you this video. I'm also going to teach you how to do this, okay? This is the other level of Driving to Tokyo High Performance Ninja Team, taking a place never been there before. We're going to be doing things that nobody else is doing, okay? Nobody else. Nobody on the planet. You'll be a part of a high performance team, even within night transportation. Other night drivers may not do, I think probably not, anything like this, okay? You could go, if you go through the Grasshopper stage and you do it fast enough and you get some experience, you could be in the #1 position or one of the first that join the high performance team. But everybody has to go through the Grasshopper stage. Everybody has to go through exactly what you're going through, watching the video, subscribing, checking it out, going through the steps, educating yourself, and then when you decide, well, I just want to jump into this thing, this is really weird, I don't understand it, but I love weirdness, so let's go for it. Anyway, I gotta go get inside, I gotta get rolling. I don't want to take my 30-minute break yet, and I've already used 12 minutes. I've got some flex time here, right here. I'll talk about all that stuff, so watch the videos. I'll be talking back to you in just whatever time. I've got, here's my goal today. So I have to really pedal to the metal. I have driven from Southern California a number of times. I'm based in Phoenix all the way through without even stopping. Phoenix, here we are. I kind of almost have to do that today. And then I'm gonna take a pit stop at my house, exit 200, about 67 miles outside of Phoenix, between Phoenix and Tucson, to get my hard copy of my driver's license. Okay, that's the whole reason I'm coming out here. But I go, I have to try to hit 550, because yesterday I should have shaved off some miles, but it was a total fiasco yesterday. Between Procter & Gamble and then the burying my trailer, I've got some ground to cover. Now, I may have to talk to Mike and tell him, hey, dude, this was supposed to be picked up yesterday at 6 a.m. Whoa, we lost the whole friggin' day. But I'm still going to do my best. That's what I do. I try to do the impossible. That's part of being not a grasshopper, but an elevated lieutenant colonel grasshopper. That's one of our, we're kind of playing around with, you know, what levels you are on the, you know, Top Gun and, you know, driving to Tokyo team, because nobody's on it yet. We have some time to think about it. But one of the things could be, you know, one of the levels, you know, they have different levels of things. You can have a lieutenant level grasshopper advanced stage. You know, maybe we'll figure it out. You know, we figure it out as we go. And anyway, I've got to run. Watch this video. Don't be too judgmental. I just started doing this like 4 months ago. I'm just figuring it out. Mike's the guru, you know, he's the guy, he's the dude. You know, he watches the video. Sometimes he doesn't watch all of that thing, but he knows how to put thumbnails, I don't. He knows how to put titles, I don't. He knows how to make Facebook into these. He knows how to do YouTube videos and put them in here. I don't know how I do almost not. I almost know how to do nothing, you know, compared to Mike. I'm like of the grasshoppers, of the content creators. I'm back at the stage one. Just like you're at stage one with truck driving, I'm at stage, you know, I'm a grasshopper. Okay, that's the way it is. You got to start. You got to be willing. Here's the essence of what I'm going to tell you. This is much too long. You got to be willing to do it bad to get good. You're going to be bad as a grasshopper. Okay, and also repetition is the mother of skill. Okay, those two things. Think about it. Do it bad to get good. Repetition is the mother of skill. I got to sign off. I'm going to get down the highway. I'm trying to do these videos when I'm not driving so the sound quality is better. I apologize for the Dave Wood part 2. The background noise was really loud. It wasn't the best audio because we're on a yacht with I don't know how many people. There's a lot of background noise. You could barely understand us. But the essence of what I was trying to do, I don't know if I can put that on here, where, is just to introduce you to Dave Wood, him speaking, because I mentored with Dave for about 5 years. And I want to integrate that wisdom, that mentorship into my grasshopper team, you know, night transportation. That's another whole conversation. Okay, so let's get started. I've got to go use the restroom, get back on the highway. Thanks for being here. Subscribe, like, continue. If you're thinking about being a truck driver, be a grasshopper truck driver. It's the way to go. Trust me. Decision I'm making today after making these videos since May. Mike and I have been on this thing for almost 3 months. Here's the deal, okay? I'm not going to worry about who's watching this. I'm not that I don't care. If you're watching this, it's awesome. But I'm not going to make the videos because, if you make a 50-second TikTok video, you'll have 1 million views. Or you better just do 5-minute ones, because then you'll have a higher click rate and all this stuff, and view rate and subscribers. You'll be able to monetize this. And I'm not going to think about all that stuff. You know, here's the thing that comes down to. This is the bottom line. My friend Pat Pendleton kind of helped me to realize this. And look at my glasses; they kind of reflect. Let's take my glasses off. Okay. The reason I wear my glasses is because I can't see my own eyes. I have my dark glasses because they're prescription glasses, which I left in the truck. Otherwise, I put them on now. They're in the truck. But here's the deal. I love making these videos, and when I have my 10 hours off, okay, what can I do? Okay, obviously one thing is I could just try to sleep for 8 hours, which I never do. I wish I could. Some people can. So I could just go sit in the driver's lounge and just talk to truck drivers about stuff I'm not even interested in. I could just sit in the front seat and just stare out into the windshield and just zone out. I'm just so zoned out, you know. or I can do something I really enjoy, and that's making these videos. And each time I make a video, I get better. Each video I do, I get better and think about new things. This is the second video. And, you know, the truth is I made one before I went to bed, and this is what I do when I get up. So it's gotten to the point, instead of just brushing my teeth and going to the restroom and getting a cup of coffee, I make a movie, okay? And I plan it to where I do it before my 10 hours is up so that I'm still productive, right? I'm not doing it company time, so to speak, which it's not really company time. You know, if you're a grasshopper, this is one of the things you'll have to get to know, okay? And those of you outside the grasshopper realm or aren't even truck drivers, I wish this sound was on. Can you hear it? It's weather. I think I can still hear myself, but I just like sitting here and having my cup of coffee, just to change the environment, good lighting, you know. But anyway, we can go let's go flash back to Starbucks in a minute. We'll go there, okay? But here's the deal. I love making these videos, so I'm just gonna make them. I don't care if they're an hour long, 15 minutes long, or I have 2 30-minute videos, or I have, you know, the truth is Mike's not downloading all the videos in other words, let me say it this way. If I made 10 videos, he wouldn't download 10 videos, because he'd probably download maybe one, you know. So the truth is, if I make 10, let's just say I have, according to our calculations, we're going to be together till September 7th, okay, September 7th. It's now August 8th, so a little less than a month or whatever. If I make, let's just throw out a number. I make, whether they're 40-minute videos, 5-minute videos, 10-minute videos, if I make 4 a day, for just round number, 30 days, I'm going to have 120 videos, most of which, for the time being, you're not going to see, right? Mike is downloading one every day. At the most, you'll see 30. So you're not going to see 90, okay? They're going to be, you know, I have to still figure out even where to send these 90 storage. That's another whole thing. And if I keep doing that, where I'm going to be by the end of the year, you know, if I make 120 a month, 5 months, that's what, 600 videos. Now, in 600 videos, I've got to get better. Or if I get worse, then I really got a problem. You know, then my theory isn't working, right? That repetition's the mother of skill. You got to do it bad to get good. And I do like 500 videos, and I'm even worse than my videos when Christine said she only watched 2 seconds. It was unwatchable. Then I got to kind of question my whole theory, okay? And then I'll have to try something else. I don't even know what that something else is, but for right now, I'm making an executive decision at this truck stop. Michael doesn't know about this. He might even say, I'll tell him today on the Zoom, okay? He might say, I don't like this. I don't think you should do this. You know, I think you should just stick to 1 5-minute video every single day. You know, just fast download. It's easy. You don't have to do a lot. Just one a day. That's how I feel about it. Okay. I respect your opinion, you know. But the truth is, this is my channel, you know. And we're working just, you know, at this point till the 7th of September. And when I'm on my own, you know, I have to make these decisions and do the things that I feel comfortable with. And I can't, in my mind, I can't make my decisions based on what I think others think, including subscribers, which I don't have very many now. So it's like, do you want to do that? You could lose your subscribers. Well, I got 9 right now, and Yuki's the most. Yuki and Don, and you know, but Yuki seems to could be pulling out and watching the most now, and I don't think Yuki's gonna, you know, fire me or not watch me because I made too many videos, you know. So that's the way my thoughts are this morning. I'll be thinking a little bit on the way to Phoenix today too, and we're having our Zoom call this afternoon. And I'm going to tell Mike about my Alien Cup and the recap. But that's my executive decision. Okay. Now the other thing I have to think about. This whole Alien Cup thing is already getting too long. Oh man, it's 7 minutes. We might have to just make this a single. This is a 7-minute Alien Cup decision. In fact, that's what Mike would probably do. He'll show Alien and the 7-minute or the 10-minute Alien executive decision in New Mexico. That would be catchy. Okay. Well, in fact, we could do that. It's 7 minutes. We'll just call it. Well, then this is on the end of the video, and I don't want to end it here like that. So, but anyway, you understand. I'm just going to make these videos. And in the background, I'm not going to be thinking, okay, what should I do? Okay, this is like 7 minutes. Oh, this is 5 minutes. This is 40 minutes. This is an hour. This is too long. If I want to sit down, I want to sit on my home time, and at home too. Footnote: I can drink a beer because that's the policy. You can drink at home as long as you're not in possession of the vehicle. I'm not ever drink alcohol out here. I'm really good about that because it's not worth losing my job over that. Now, I could lose my job because I'm being too weird, That's what my friend Freddie said. He said, your videos, they could be too weird, and the company might think you're weird and too weird, and you could lose your job, dude. That's what he told me. I don't know if that's policy. I don't know. But the other thing is, I like sharing these with Madeline, but she's not asking me to send me a video every weekend so I can watch it. So I accidentally sent her four, but there were 2 videos, but I accidentally sent 4, if I'm not making sense. Okay, there were two different videos, but I thought I didn't send them, so I sent them a second time, and I thought I was sending them to her text message. So I checked the text message and I couldn't see them, so I sent them again, and I realized I actually sent them to her Facebook Messenger, and I don't know if she watched them or not, but I don't know. That's the other thing I may have to decide, is that I just have to make them, download them, put them on Facebook, and just not proactively just send them to people like Madeline without them requesting it, because it's kind of like, okay, you gotta check out this video, because some of them are long, If I send Madeline, here's what I might change my strategy with Madeline. I might just send Madeline like 2-minute mini flash videos. That way, it's something she could watch just during the day and kind of make her laugh or make her think about stuff. But they're only like 2 minutes or a minute. I'd experiment with that. That way they're not too long. And I'm still touching base. Okay. I could do 2-minute, like Mike and I have the recaps today. We do an hour. I could do 2-minute Madeline update. Hey Madeline, this is Doug, 102963. Just a quick update. I'm in New Mexico. I'm heading to Phoenix. I'm just thinking about these videos. They're awesome. They're cool. Thank you for bailing me out. Thank you for giving me that load. You're awesome. You're awesome, awesome, awesome. Bam. Kind of like that. Maybe that'd be cool. They're like little video cards, So I'm just gonna play around with strategies while I'm driving today, because I'm not gonna be connecting with Mike until about 9 more hours. 9 more hours, I can have lots of thoughts. And here's the other thing on my way to Phoenix today. I think I'm about 300 something miles. I'm gonna be going through Flagstaff, another cool place to stop. So I'm gonna kind of take my time, because Michael's not even in today, as far as I know. It'd be really cool if Madeline was on the phones. I called and then she was on the phones, but I don't know if she is. and then I'm just gonna take my time getting to Phoenix. I'll get to Phoenix, okay, and I'll send these to. I'll have this video done in just a couple minutes. So anyway, I'm gonna close this out. Coffee at New Mexico with my alien cup. To be continued. I've got some more stuff to share that I wanted to share on here, but I'm going to end this video for right now. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, run the opposite direction. Do whatever you want to do. But if you want more, come and check it out. I'm going to probably make another video at some point today. So it'll be number 2 for today. 1 last night, 2 for today. And if I get to Phoenix early enough, I'll make some more. As long as I keep doing this, I'm going to keep creating new content, okay? So, I'm going to drink my alien cup of coffee and sign off for right now. Take care. Buy stuff like this, but look at this. Alien coffee cup. An alien coffee cup from New Mexico. So, I'm making an executive decision over this cup of coffee. Watch. Coffee. My first cup of coffee in the alien cup in New Mexico. My 10 hours is just up, but I don't have to worry about it. So this is the executive decision. I'm back. I'm serious now. Better lighting than last night, right? Last night lighting was horrible. I'll apologize for that. I'll try to make my 5-minute videos all day long. I think Mike said I only have to do one a day, like one a day vitamins. Okay, I've done 3 now, so I've done my quota already. I haven't even started my work day. How are you? I hope you're weird. If you're not going to be weird, I'm going to make you weird. Everybody has to be weird. Let me even define what weird is, because I said I'm a functioning crazy person, right? I'm that last video. I'm gonna lock my door. Dude, I locked my door. We're up. This is really my life. See, this is my life as a truck driver. I love my life. I've been doing this 12 years, and I love it, as crazy as it may seem. And I'm actually, I'm a functioning crazy person. That's what I am. You've heard of functioning alcoholics. I'm a functioning crazy person. See, there's the Starbucks emblem. Well, this is all full. Is there anybody going through the drive-through? Here comes somebody right now. I better not videotape them. Oh, there's some other people. My other phone has my Starbucks app, so I can use my app to pay for my food. Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I don't normally just walk and shake like this, but I'm doing reality TV here, so this is Doug's stabilization. Back to the time I don't bring both phones, and this is the whole idea of trying to get one phone with apps and just use this for photography and video. Have the whole day off. In fact, I could have till Monday off, which is fine. I don't get too many days here with no snow and have the whole weekend to screw around. Okay, let's go to get my other phone. Where is it? Where is my other phone? Now watch. This is the real thing, guys. Starbucks app. Let's check this out. Yeah, here we go. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get it all set up. Scan and store. Now we're set. We got $14.67. Let's start over. Doug's Groundhog Day. I feel like I've done this before. People in the drive-thru? Yeah, this is people in the drive-thru. Right there. Here we go. We're going all over again. Because I forgot my phone. I gotta remember to take it with me everywhere I go. I'm a 3-phone man. Functioning crazy person. Okay. I've never been normal. And I don't think it's cool to be normal. Do you know what normal is? Normal's regular. I'm just a regular dude, I'm just normal. I'm just bland. I'm normal. I'm boring. I'm just a regular dude. I just look like every other truck driver at the truck stops. I just look like all the other truck drivers when I really don't. Maybe on the outside. on the outside. You might look at me and go, he's just a regular dude. He's like a regular dude. He's not the dude like the great Lemboski dude. He's just a regular guy. Okay. This is a cool thing. Let me do a commercial. Okay, let's do the commercial right now. Oh, as a truck driver, I use only the best. I use mobile spec, DC charger, quad, that needs 4. So I can plug in all my devices as a professional truck driver. I use only this kind. You can find these at all the Flying J's. This was about $28. Why do I have one? Because I'm just not a regular truck driver. I've got 3 smartphones. I have a iPhone Pro Max Plus because I make videos. I have a channel called Driving to Tokyo. A little plug on radio here and television and YouTube. You can watch my channel. That's really weird. You know you're on your channel? You don't have to tell people to watch your channel. They're watching your channel because they're watching you. God. Oh, you're so stupid. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. But anyway, this is a really good thing. So, we're 2.5 minutes into my second or third weird video. See, you don't have to be normal to function as a truck driver. So, Grasshopper, new truck driver, potential driving to Tokyo, high performance team members, okay? If you're weird and you just feel like you don't fit in the world, you have a good place to be, okay? Do you know what I got today? Look at this, check out. Is it backwards? Don't be a wussy. Do you know what that is code for? It says, weird. Don't be normal, be weird. It says, don't be a wussy. Denver, Colorado, don't be a wussy. Empower Network. What is Empower Network, Doug? Empower Network. July 19th to 21st, 2013. My God, that was like 8 years ago. Yes. Section 3, row 2, seat 101. Now, I'm got weird because I was a part of the Empower Network, who was founded by a really weird guy named David Wood. That's what I want to tell you. One of the things I'm going to talk about this week, as well as Japan, is David Wood, Empower Network, the events, what I learned about all kinds of stuff, you know, related to the internet, right? Now, Mike, the weirdest. Mike knows about this stuff. Keyword search, landing, but I don't even know, do we use landing pages anymore? Autoresponders, email. Do we use that stuff? I have to talk to the master internet master. Mike, do we do landing pages? Autoresponders, you know, building a list, you know. By the way, if we still use that technology, if you become one of the dudes, one of the weird dudes, or women dudist, what's a woman that's weird and a member? If guys are dudes, what are women? Dudress. If you're a dudress, okay, you're going to learn about the internet. This can be a full system integration. You wouldn't even have to go to college because we're going to teach you everything you need to know about branding, starting your YouTube channel. But guess what? You're going to be a part of our YouTube channel, part of the umbrella of Driving to Tokyo. Okay, you're also going to go through the Squire program. Squire. It's kind of a weird name, but anyway, I don't know what that means. Squire. We'll call it the Top Gun. We can reframe it. You know, it'll be Knight's Transportation's training, but we can call it what we want, right? You get to go through the Top Gun, Driving to Tokyo, High Performance Ninja Team training. It's the entry point. You have to go through that training before you even get qualified to be on the high performance team, right? You have to be weird. You have to go through Squire, okay? Which means you have to be part of Knight, which means you have to go through the orientation. You have to go out with one of their trainers, okay? I could train you, but just to keep everything above board, and including you have to go through one of the recruiters. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Recruiter, okay, Squire, orientation, go out with the trainer, go out in the truck, get your own truck, and start going down the highway. Get your first load, okay? Grasshopper, you have to get some experience before you join our team. So I just don't take anybody. You have to qualify to be a part of the Driving to Tokyo team. What do you mean you have to qualify? I've already qualified to be. I'm a night employee. I'm a driver. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you are. But you're got to make sure you're one of us. You know, you're one of us, because we all have to vibrate at the same level. You know, we have to have the same vision. We have to be synchronized. You know, you have to be on the same wavelength. So we have to be able to use the same code language. When I talk about certain stuff, you can't think it's weird. You have to understand it's total creative intelligence, emotional intelligence. You're gonna have to be different than all the other truck drivers. Okay? So first you have to be a regular truck driver. Go through the regular steps, just like I did. I was a regular truck driver about 12 years ago. And then I became enlightened about 3 years ago when I went to Japan. Okay? Now, for you to become enlightened, Driving to Tokyo high performance team member, you also have to go to Tokyo. Before you even go to Tokyo, you have to go through a recruiter. You have to, you know, just make the decision to be a truck driver, go through Squire, orientation, training. You know, that's going to take you a while. It took me about 45 days to get through all the preliminary things. And then I drove for about 7 months before I even thought, I've got this thing. Ooh, I got this thing. I want to do this. I want to do this thing. Now that's 12 years ago. Okay. So you have to go through some steps, and then you have to show me you really want it. I just don't put anyone in the number one spot. You could be in the number one spot of the Driving to Tokyo team. Do you know what that means? You're the number one guy or girl. You know, girl or guy. I even accept aliens. Don't tell Night that. I picked up a really cool alien up in Oregon the other day. Really cool dude. I haven't asked him if they accept aliens. But could be a first alien on the Driving to Tokyo team. No, just kidding. I think you probably have to be human. Anyway, I love this don't be wussy. You know, we can talk to Mike about having our own badges, you know. Don't be a wussy. We can be weird. Be one of us. One of the Driving to Tokyo team members. We're weird. We're proud of being weird. We're not normal. Are you normal? We're not normal. Okay, we're the Top Gun of truck driving. We're the ninja truck drivers. Okay, that's 5 minutes. How many videos is that, Mike? 4, and I haven't even finished my coffee yet.
Driving around, listening to the sound of my voice in the truck.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what blew my mind.
Go ahead, we're rolling.
Who wants to start? You want me to go ahead?
You do,
Okay.
man. You're the truck driver.
Okay, my name's Doug Wirma. I've been waiting 4 years to stand side by side with the man, the legend, Dave Wood. And this weekend is totally off the chain, man. We're in a yacht, about 200 people here, and I talked to Dave for the first time in about 4 years. And what I love about Dave is when he connects with you and he makes eye contact, it looks like he's looking right into your soul. And I love that. He's just like totally, like there's lots of people around us, but when he talks, he's like right there with you. And I was telling him about my vision yesterday. He was like, you know how Dave kind of looks? So I really appreciate being here. Yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to you guys.
Hey, well, real quick, let me get my arm down here so I focus that. This is Doug Wirma, right? He said that. I've known him for 4 years. He actually came into joined a business with me back in 2000. But no, it wasn't 4. If you joined that company, so I joined that March 17th, 2010. So it's actually maybe 3, right? Maybe a little over 3. You joined pretty early.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember talking to him, and we got in, and he was talking to me about how he's driving trucks around the nation down the road, right? And like you watching this video, I don't know if you're a truck driver. I don't know if you're just going down the road of life. This is a man who just works all day and night, and he does whatever it takes to learn what he needs to learn in order to get the results that he wants to get. And if you're watching this, it's because you know there's something better for you in life. And I don't know what that is, because we have all sorts of people. We have musicians that want to play music more, and they don't
my other phone. I'm just giving you behind the scenes stuff. This is my other iPhone. It's actually a $1,300 phone. And it has 500 gigabytes of memory. This one I'm filming on has 127, I believe. So it means this has almost 5 times the capacity. It's the same phone, but you see it's thicker and bigger. But I got this so I could still film on the one I originally got, but it fills, the storage fills up much faster. This one that I'm holding, the only thing I have to do is just get a magnet for the back of it, so this too can mount on any one of these places here. That's the only thing I have to do is get a magnet so this can mount, and that's just a simple. It's about $25 for a little magnet, but I can put a magnet on this phone, so I can place it up here, over here, for filming and using this, you know, like I do this phone. So, which I will do, because this holds a lot more.
This is what happens when you're consistent and you've got a dream. And one day, I will be on a stage, guest speaking at this man's event, and he will have a room bigger than this room, and he will have a person in his team with more people than this, making more than this much. And he'll be interviewing them, and I'll be sitting in the audience. And that will happen from my very first guy that I got in on the internet. That's the power of a dream. Give these guys a hand. Guys, thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate you. Hey, you guys can go sit down now. Thanks for coming up, man. You rock. Hey, should we sing this guy? I always forget your name, dude. What's your name again? I forget.
That's John Pemberthy.
Okay, guys, we got to be quick because I only got a few minutes. So we're going to sing John Happy Birthday.
Can I film this? Is that all right?
Yeah, dude, let's film it. Come on. You're at $20,000 a month. We deserve a happy birthday.
It's only ever going to happen once, right?
Right. Now, you guys can turn off my microphone because I ain't going to sing on the microphone, all right? I'll take it down and I'll cover it with my house. Okay, guys, on 3, we're going to sing Happy Birthday to John, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. Give him a hand, folks, come on. He's here on his birthday because he's got a dream. He ain't out drinking. He's here. Hey, brother, congratulations. Hey,
man.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Work your ass off. Okay? Now, how do you do it? I've got 18 minutes left, and I've actually got to finish on time because otherwise they spank me now. Dave Sharp, he's actually got a wooden spoon, like my mom had when I was a child, and he threatens the wooden spoon on me if I'm over, right? Oh, baby. I like it, though. Oh, yeah, Dave, yeah. All right. You got to be willing to work, right? You got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to work when you don't know what to do. You got to be willing to work when you don't got the right strategy. You got to be willing to work when nobody else around you is working. You got to be out there to getting 2 people a day when nobody else in your team is doing it if you want them to do it. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes. You got to be willing to place one more ad. You got to be willing to go out there and talk to one more person. You got to be willing to put one more blog post up. You got to be willing to keep having a dream. When your boss tells you can't do it, you got to look at him back and you say, I don't care what you say because I'm quitting this stupid job. You got to be willing to go out there and you got to be willing to speak your vision into the world because you can do it, and magical things will happen to you when you're consistent and you've got a dream. But if you're inconsistent and you have a dream and you keep changing stuff and you keep quitting and you keep altering your course of action and you're focused in 1,800 deals, look, you don't got the list of 250,000 that other people have got. I could build a lot of companies at once right now if I wanted to. And I don't, because it doesn't hurt my income, it hurts yours if I'm not consistent. Because people ain't gonna follow somebody who ain't consistent for a long time. It gets old getting burned out all the time with a strategy of the week, right? It does. Hey, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, you know that? You're killing it, aren't you? Starting to, right? I'd go story after story after story. If we had all night, I would, because I wouldn't stop beating it into you. You know, pull out the wooden spoon. I'd say, get 2 a day. And make income disclosures, damn it. Work, now here's the next key, right? You have got to be willing to be flexible like David Sharp was talking about. If we send an airplane from Denver to Hawaii, it's off course just a little bit 99% of the time. The same as a rocket headed to the moon. It's headed towards its destination, and if it's not corrected, it would not hit anything unless it was random, which is exactly what most people do, right? You gotta be willing to adjust and take feedback. If something doesn't work, change your strategy just a little bit, alter it, blog a little differently, learn a little bit more, build your SEO a little bit differently, share it a little bit differently. If nobody's joining, you've got to be willing to adjust your strategy. Why can't I give you the perfect strategy? Because the perfect strategy appears in your life after a certain amount of adjustments to what you're doing. And you got to be willing to adjust. You got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to do new things. So I want to talk to you about why you should watch this. I have done about $60 million in sales in the last year and a half. 60 million. Okay?
That's all I was gonna say, whether you're a truck driver, whether you're doing something else, I love you, man. Yeah, I love you too, man. I love you. You got great energy. You got everything that it takes. You got everything that it takes.
Good morning, everyone. This is Doug. I'm excited for today because I am going by my house with probably not probably. I gotta watch my words. I'm always correcting myself. Not probably. I was going to say I'm probably going to buy my house with my tractor and trailer. Yeah, I got a load, so if I'm going by my house, I'm going to have my tractor and my trailer. See, this is why I need my coffee this morning. Anyway, 5-minute videos. I made a bunch yesterday. However, I think because I had a really busy day, all of my 5-minute videos were on the road. Okay, I think I have I don't think I have my truck off. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to make most of the 5-minute videos without the truck running or going down the road, so the sound quality is better. Plus, I can really feel like I'm having a conversation with you. Okay, we're 1 minute into this. Okay, first, quick recap, and I'll probably have to talk more on the next video, of yesterday and forecast for today. Okay. Yesterday, cheers, kudos to Madeline. Love Madeline. She always has my back. Michael did an awesome job. This is what happened. I'll get into it until I can finish in the next 5-minute videos. Okay, here's what happened. I had a Procter & Gamble load in Marina Valley, which I normally love. It's usually quick. It's a drop and hook. I'm very familiar with it. And when I got there, it was pretty busy, number one. And plus, footnote, I always tell Michael that please book whenever you can on the East Valley of Los Angeles, out in Marina Valley, San Bernardino, Redlands, that area, Paris. Here's why. Because it's so easy to get out. And when I have a load that's on the west, Long Beach, that area, it's about 60 miles across town in Los Angeles. So it's really 60 miles out in the prairie, Wyoming or Iowa or something would be no problem at all. But 60 miles in Los Angeles is a problem. However, because I was already coming from up north, I took the 405, so it's not as much a problem getting there because I'm already north, and coming west I'm not like going west. I'm coming south and just taking the 405 and dropping in to the west. So getting there wasn't as big a problem. I was going to a lumber yard, and lumber yards are always crazy because, they're not made for big trucks. But the bottom line, I found the lumber yard where I was delivering. That was a load I was picking up at Modesto Drop Yard. It was coming all the way from originated all the way up in Washington as lumber. The bottom line, I found the lumber company. I pulled in. I was supposed to park out in the street, and then I made my 1 o'clock appointment. Had to weave around all this lumber and stuff to get back to like a ramp, backed up the ramp, and they did unload me. That went fine. I was on time, got unloaded. But then I had to drive from there about 60 something miles through LA, cross town, to Procter & Gamble in Moreno Valley. When I got there, I was really busy, which is fine. When it's busy and I'm sitting there, I'm actually now cool because I have this video outlet. I can make 5-minute videos. Like if I'm sitting there in the line for, half an hour, that's 6 5-minute videos, right? And then I can take those 5-minute videos, even though they're just 5-minute increments that you can watch, just short little increments. Oftentimes I'm going to intend to try to make them so they fit together, they kind of go. So if you watch one 5-minute video, the next one kind of picks up where the last one left off, because you can watch the videos in bite-sized pieces. Okay, so I know you're busy, I'm busy. At the same time, I can use those 5-minute videos, put them together, and make them a part of a larger video where they go through on a longer video, like let's say it's 40 minutes long or an hour. Okay, and they fit together. Or I can take pieces and add to other videos. Okay, this is close to the 5 minutes. I'm going to try and stick to it. So if you want to hear the rest of the story, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next 5-minute video.
Yeah, I've worked around warehousing for most of my young adult life. So I've seen truck drivers, dealt with trucks, loading, unloading. So not really ever looking at it in the light that you both are looking at it, and it's really cool to see each person have their own individual story, and the common link is trucking to get there. And I think it's just such a cool thing because you can not only see a lot of things, you can just kind of be on your own, be independent, and you're making solid money for what you're doing. So I just think it's awesome to meet new people, and I think that with the channel, with Doug and you coming into the fold here, just even this little Zoom call, I think is really cool, just to kind of get things flowing, get the energy flowing, because there are women and men out there right now that are struggling, that don't know what to do, or they want to travel, or they're stuck financially, or they have a kid or something that needs some medical help or whatever, and they might not even think of trucking, which is like it's right there. So I love the connection here, and I just want to jump in and say that, and appreciate you for coming on here today and just kind of chatting. LC, you want to take it back? Doug, you want to take it back?
I just want to but I have a side of me that loves just meditating and being introspective. And this, I mentioned this to you, Mike, that this is the kind of job, because we get all our stuff through our app, that you can literally just about work and never talk to anyone other than just going in the truck stops and maybe buying some coffee or something. You can literally be in your own little world. You don't have to deal with other employees. You don't have to deal with customers. You just do your work. And so if someone's in a space where maybe they've gone through hard times, or they've gone through a divorce, or they got some time, I know before I started driving a truck, the way I process things, sometimes I like to just take a long road trip for my mental therapy. So to me, it's like an endless road trip. So if you're in a space, if you find yourself on this channel and you feel like you want to work, but you just kind of want to be in your own little world. You want a chance to kind of heal your heart, or process, or just be alone for a while. This is a great job for that, because you can literally do that. You don't really have to even be around people. You just do your work, do your job.
Yeah, I'm similar. I like to be in my own little world too. I also know that communication and people is huge too. So I'm a good mix of introvert, extrovert, most leaning towards the introvert side on most times. However, can also be extroverted. So I think that's cool.
I also think a lot of our truckers are on the road and we don't talk to anybody all day. And I always smile at people when I get into a truck stop or the stripper. I'm nice. Now in the truck, when I'm driving, I could be cussing at all these drivers, but when I meet people on the road, I'm smiling. I say hi to them, because you don't know when the last time someone smiled and said hello to them. So that's what I do, and I talk to anybody. Anybody comes up to me, I just talk to them. and I could be stuck there for an hour or two. I'm like, I gotta go, I got a load to take. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, so I just talk to everybody. And they're like, oh, they're just flirting with you. I'm like, no, it's nice to actually physically chat with a person, since we are in the truck, we sleep in the truck. I mean, I don't get out at night. Once I shut down, I close my windows, that's it. I don't get out of the truck because, well, it's unsafe for a woman to be wandering around a truck stop at night. So I stay in the truck, and then the next morning I'm up and I leave. So it's nice just to talk to somebody. Definitely. I always talk to everybody. Whenever anybody comes up to me and talks to me, I talk to them.
Yeah, you never know who you're going to meet, and that's the awesome part of it. Sometimes we'll meet strangers. Like, I know Elsie doesn't know a bunch about my story, but my wife and I travel. We're on the road a lot too. And to your point, you go to a truck stop. We used to travel with a travel trailer, and we would stay at truck stops. And I remember my first time traveling, you kind of get a little scared. Like, is there anything that you can tap into on that with, like, how you overcame that, like, the thought of, being alone at a truck stop as a female, or what was that like for you?
Well, I think it's all about, like, how you present yourself. Like, I always walk up with my head high, and I'm always scanning. I always check all of my surroundings at all times. A lot of people will strap their doors. I don't do that because it's unsafe. I fight there's a fire.
What is that? Sorry to interrupt you, but what is it? I've never heard about that.
To strap your doors, you hook your seatbelt through and you click it on your seatbelt, so it locks your doors. You can't get out. But the thing is, with that, I think personally for me, I wouldn't do it, because if there's a fire, I can't get out quick enough. Right. I'm like, I'm okay, So I'm always scanning my surroundings. You have to be aware of your surroundings. So I lock my doors, when I shut down at night, I shut down. And I'm always in a lit area, like a truck stop or a rest area. I mean, for Knight's policy, we're not on the ramps. We don't sit duck. It's called sitting duck. We actually stop, or I go to my yards. We have a ton of yards that I go to. So that's where I park. And I've always felt safe. I've never had a huge problem. So I know a lot of other women say they have problems, but it's all on how you carry yourself and your confidence and, being aware of your surroundings out here.
Right on. As simple as it could be. I love that part, because that's how I mean, Doug, I'm sure you could probably tap in on that too. Like, when you first got started, was there like some kind of weirdness for you, like stopping at a truck stop and doing things like that?
I think the thing, maybe Elsie would be able to relate to this too. It wasn't so much safety, because I've traveled all over the world, ran on money in Morocco and hitchhiked all over the United States, and so it wasn't that, but it's coming into this culture. It's kind of like a biker culture, almost like Harley Davidson culture. You're coming into this culture, and when you're brand new, when you're backing up and the things you're doing, it's obvious to the rest of the truck drivers sometimes that you're new. And so you're coming into this brand new tribe, and everybody's watching you and checking you out, and you're new. And it takes a while to kind of blend into the tribe, and feel like I'm one of them. I'm not on the outside, I'm one of these guys. And that takes a while. So it was more along those lines of feeling like an outsider. Every time I went to a truck stop or a consignee or a shipper, when all these experienced people, you could tell they knew exactly what was going on, but I was new. I didn't know what was going on. So that was part of it for me, just getting comfortable with being a truck driver and being in that environment.